In the laboratory of Professor Oak, Leap has been studying under the professor on properly becoming a trainer. Professor Oak has been making sure Leap's habits are tame, so it won't make another situation like what happened to Ash. The former con artist helped Oak with his work, mainly getting something information from the professor, taking care such observing the Pokemon, and other things Ash would do. When they have a break, she asks the professor on why didn't he send her to custody. Professor Oak explains he can tell she is a good person with a heart since she shows genuine care on her Pokemon and never needed to harm others. He wants to give her a second chance since her entire childhood was taken away by Team Rocket. Plus, he saw potential in her and he doesn't want to waste it. Leap was surprised to hear that, and it did make her think more on what Oaks just said. From there, they have a normal conversation. She continued to reform herself. Her Pokemon help her out during this, especially Bulbasaur. He wants her to pursue this new lifestyle. Leap has been enjoying her time. It's better than her previous one for the most part. Her and Bulbasaur has gotten closer doing this. They play together, talk about on things, and share some aspect she can do. Oak is happy to see Leap becoming a new person, but still as herself. Though at times her tricky side kicks in, but it's not as bad as before. She definitely loves to bond with her Pokemon. He learned from Leap her Abra isn't a fighter nor is interested in joining into one, but it's fine for her as long she'll be alright and be supportive whenever something happens. Leap was just doing her usual activity until a dispute happened between a Gloom and Poliwhirl for berries. She talks to the two and asks what's wrong. The two explains in motion and name calling. Poliwhirl was about to eat this berry until Gloom sneezes, covering it with poison powder and was trying to kill it, while Gloom defended herself saying it was an accident. However, the Tadpolmon disagree and continue to bicker with the Weedmon. Leap ponders this, and with the assist from Bulbasaur and Abra, they were able to break their squabble. She tells the two to knock it off. There's so many berries around the corral, along with the other Pokemon just wanting to live or do anything. Everyone can get along as long there is no conflict that would affect everyone. She continued to explain more using her quick-witted, was able to convince the two Mons to apologize and share their non-poisonous berry. She smiles at their work. The Gloom thanks the tree, however, unexpectedly, she sneezes again. This time it's a yellow cloud. She immediately recognized it to be Stunspore. Unfortunately for her, she was near the yellow cloud and is about to be affected by it. Suddenly, Bulbasaur tackled her out of the way, getting paralyzed instead. Leap looks on in fear, seeing her grass starter in pain. Abra, knowing this, immediately holds on to her trainer and friend, teleports where Professor Oak is, while the Gloom dejected on what she did. Professor Oak was just taking a stroll, observing the Pokemon, until he heard a familiar moo and got trampled by it. He smiles while recovering, pats his aged Tauros, asking his old friend how is he been doing. The normal type made a happy call to see its trainer and rubbing affectionately. The two catch up and did some reminiscing on their days of travel, even telling Tauros the team's been up to. Their moment was caught seeing an Abra gripping onto a frightened Leaf who's holding a paralyzed Bulbasaur. Eyes widen, both Professor and Bull approach the tree and ask what happened. Leaf tries her best to speak out on the events while Abra comforts her. Professor Oak takes Leaf back to the lab while saying to his Mon he'll talk to him later. Tauros nodded and went back to its zone in the ranch. Once inside, Professor Oak set Leaf down on the couch, then used some treatments to heal Bulbasaur. A few hours have passed. Leaf is being reassured by Abra, gesturing to her Bulbasaur won't have the same fate as him. She calmed down at that moment. Professor Oak proceeds to inform her Bulbasaur recovered. Seeing her grasp poison type next to Oak, quickly hugged him. The old professor asks if she has a trauma losing a Pokemon. The brunette was shocked and asked how can he tell. The professor explained he once had a trainer who lost his Raticate a long time ago and was completely broken. However, he helped him throughout his depression, and after getting closure in Lavender Town, he recovered. Professor Oak offers Leap his help to overcome her trauma if she wants. Leap thought about it. Since meeting the professor, she didn't expect the old man to give her a second chance and been helping her all the way, so she would accept it. The next few days is about Leaf's recovery. Professor Oak made sure to be careful since he doesn't want Leaf's trauma to get worse. Using exercise dealing with this situation, whenever Leaf freezes or panic, he consulted her through it. There were some mistakes that require Leaf to recover and do the same progress in different variation. Eventually got her to somewhat overcome it. The next stage is talking about it. Oak has to build it up so Leaf could master up on her problem. He was patient and let Leaf take her time. After some time, she did spoke about it while trying not to shudder. It all began when she was very young in a rocket facility where they trained their new members to join the organization. Their instructor wants results and progress to their recruits. The training itself was rough, teaching them how to be stealthy, steal, and tracking Pokemon. They were rough on them whenever they failed or made a single mistake. They would be punished for it, especially targeting the ones who are not in their mindset. Thankfully, she made a friend in secret, her hand-picked Ratata, who she named Ratty. After they know each other, he was the only one that made her safe, though she did meet a red-haired boy and have a few interactions with him. After a lot of harsh regimen and some kids who were far into Rocket's ambition, she was found out by a snitch while playing with Ratty. After being reported, she was brought in by one of the executives to oversee her punishment. He begins to bark down and lecture her about Pokemon being tools. She argued back at the executive. Much to her dismay, he didn't take that kindly. She was grabbed by a grunt, forcing her to watch as the executive's mighty hyena began to trash on Ratty, leaving the rat to cry in pain over the vicious assault. She begs for him to stop it, however, the violence continues until Ratty falls limp, not moving, with a crimson-colored liquid flowing to the floor and the dark type's teeth. Satisfied seeing the girl's reaction, commanded the grunts to send her back to her quarters. As Leaf finished her story, Oak's reaction was solemn and comfort Leaf on her traumatic experience. He would guess this would lead her learning to be a thief and escaping, which she confirms, albeit with strategy from her boss and meeting with Abra. He asks Leaf if she has anything left from Ratty. Leaf shows a locket. Inside is a purple fur, what's left of her old friend. Oak then offers Leaf to take her to Lavender Town to get her piece. She thanks the professor for the help as they got into his car and drive up to Lavender Town. Somewhere in Route 14, several Mons have been defeated across the path. A rocket grunt, who is still conscious, can't believe they've been defeated by a brat. Said brat approaches him with his sharp claw Mon, interrogating the grunt on their operation. He found this weakling grunt and his cronies capturing Pokemon and peel off their parts for the black market or for their own deeds. The grunt sneer at Silver, telling him he's out of luck since he has no idea of their operation. Unfortunately for him, that was a mistake. Silver then commands his Sneasel to play with the down grunt. The dark type has a devious smile and getting closer, readying himself. The grunt was panicking. He can't be serious. However, Silver's face isn't showing any bluff. Before Sneasel bring down his claw, the man gave in and said, "Look, I don't know much, But I know there is some kind of operation in Lavender Town. That's all I know. He continued to beg as Silver frowns at the man's pleads. The dark cat uses feint attack to knock out the grunt as Silver sighs and mutters, acting strong. In reality, all of you are weaklings need to be dealt with. The redhead moved on to his next destination, Lavender Town. Back with Oak and Leaf, the ride to Lavender was uneventful, except for some conversation. One of them is about Ash. Leaf learned Professor Oak took care of Ash since he was a baby and been his inspiration/role model, leading him to who he is today. Before Leaf could question further, they arrived at Lavender Town. She got off the car and thanked the professor for everything. Oak smiled and tell her to take her time being here and just call when she's done. She waved the professor off and turns to the haunted town. She explored and asked the locals on the place she needs to go. Leaf made it to Pokemon Tower, one of the failures of Team Rocket. She noticed another building next to the Great Tower, saying coming soon. She wondered what it is. An old man came out of the tower and answered her question. It's a new gym, said the old man. That explains. It looks like Kanto is starting to gain new gyms. After learning the old man is Mr. Fuji, she asked him if the tower is available right now. She explained to him her fallen friend. Feeling pity for the girl, he leads her in the tower. They both climb to the tower, passing each floor, seeing ghost Pokemon doing their usual activity. Mr. Fuji tells Leaf about the tower and its importance. Leaf asks about the rocket incident. The caretaker tiredly sighs and recounts that day in 1986. Team Rocket, led by one of their rocket triad, invaded the tower, claiming it and prevent the people to visit. Thankfully, two trainers from Pallet Town stopped them, along with one of them calming down a restless spirit. Leaf is amazed by the story. As they reach the top floor, here, Mr. Fuji informed her there is a vacant spot for her fallen. Before he leaves, he suggests to visit the Pokemon house when she is not busy, as he goes down. Leaf got near the grave, sending out her two mons to pay respect for Ratty. She laid down the locket onto the grave, then speaks about their time together, thanking him, and he will be missed as she tears up, while her team consoles her. Back outside, Silver arrives and scouts around for any sign of Rocket. It took some time, but he did found them and hide to listen to their plans. They're going to separate into groups. One will be at the tower while the other go to station themselves to not let anyone in or out. As two distinct commanders send their members out, while Silver bolts to the outside group. Meanwhile, Leaf finished her talk and thanked her team for her company. She bid farewell to Ratty. As sleep goes down, she heard a ruckus. On instinct, quickly hide in a nearby column. She sees Team Rocket capturing ghost Pokemon. She did not expect this, but won't let this happen. Since there are too many to battle, she has another option, as she convey it to her team. However, did not notice a pair of eyes watching her with curiosity. The grunts were capturing/containing the ghost until they heard a noise, inspecting what it is, only for them to fall asleep thanks to sleep powder. Leap then freed the mons and tied the grunts and their mons. She keeps doing this while going down. While doing it, one grunt spots her, ready to attack. Suddenly, the eyes from before fires confuse Ray, making him stop. For Leap to glance and knock them out. She wondered who did this. Leap made it back to the entrance, only to be stopped by a duo and their lackeys. Outside, The grunts surround the civilians, demanding to hand over their mons, while Mr. Fuji reassures them he already called the authorities, as he and some individuals stand firm, not wanting this happen again. Before any attacks were made, the grunts and their mons were stopped by an ice water attack. Looking over to see Silver with Sneasel and a water reptile, he glares at them and charges in for the attack. Confronting their troublemaker, the long-haired woman demands Sleep to give up and relinquish her Pokemon, but her partner recognized the girl to be one of the runaways, so they had to bring her back as well. However, Leap retorts she's free now and will never return to their organization. A battle starts. Bulbasaur goes for the offense and Sleep tactic, while Abra tries to mislead them to attack each other, while Arbok and Weezing do some dirty tactics with their Lackysmon are the main hitters. Leap's strategy worked with the Grunts Mons KOing them, but Arbok and Weezing giving her team trouble, especially Weezing cops out Sludge Bomb at Abra who dodge. However, out of the shadow, Arbok jumps down at the Simon. Leap recalls Abra and hopes Bulbasaur can last long. Thankfully, help arrives with a Totodile unleashing frustration at the two poison types. They look over to see Silver. Leap is surprised to see him, but was glad. With the help of Totodile, they were able to keep it even for a while. Until they heard a voice calling out, "They got all they needed, so let's scram this joint." Both Leap and Silver were in disbelief seeing a talking Meowth with a container filled with ghost types. Using this moment of confusion, James snapped his finger for Weezing to release a cloud of smoke to cover them. Silver uses Sneasel's icy wind to blow away the polluted smoke. Once it dissipates, he curses, seeing the rockets escape with the ghost types. He looks to Leap, gives her a knowing look. They both leave as sirens blur outside the tower. On Route 8, Silver and Leap catch up on their progress. Leap learned her boss stole a Pokédex and Totodile after some altercation in Johto. He made it here to seek out the rockets. The redhead questioned Leap on where Ketchum is and was displeased to know he's in Kalos. But he is glad to hear Leap is doing well with Professor Oak. He tells Leap he'll be somewhere in Kanto for a while and wish her luck with her new life. He walks away to parts unknown. Leap is about to leave until she spots something in her shadow, revealing itself. It did surprise and follow her. She sees what it can do. It loves tricks, though a bit shy, and thanks her for trying to save its friends. Leap asks the ghost type if she wants to come with her. It nodded, wanted to get out of its comfort zone and save her friends. The Mon captures itself, making it her third member. In the nearest center, Leap calls up Professor Oak, telling him what happened in Lavender Town, minus her talk with Silver. Oak is happy to know she's well, but did ask her to be careful. She just recovered, and he will inform this. She also let him know it will take a while for her to return, since she doesn't know if Team Rocket is going after her. He understands and hopes to see her soon as the screen turns off. Leap carefully heads back to Pallet Town. Those following days, she and the rest get to know their latest friend, bonding over their love for tricks. She finally made it back but noticed someone at the stairs. It's Ash. A thought came to her and releases her latest capture, telling her a little prank on Ash. They both snicker, readying themselves on the poor, unsuspected trainer. And that is where we'll be leaving things for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the first story that is not centered on the main protagonist. And I hope it's a good first try for it, because I wanted to try doing it in the other franchises or future stories that I would do. And what do you guys think of this spin-off for Oak Ash? Because this story was inspired by, or this style, or this the spin-off style thingy was inspired by Pickle Deal and Dex Comics collab video with What If Team Aqua sponsored May slash What If Team Magma sponsored Max. It was inspired by that, so I'm really thankful that I'm able to do this. And go please check it those videos out. Just please go check it out. That's how I got the inspiration from it, and it's really enjoyable to watch the entire story of it. And the next video will be Oak Ash Part 4, so don't worry, I already finished the script, and by the time when this video comes out, I'm already started to record it and editing process. So that is all I could say for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.